Hello all you lovely people and welcome to another video of mine. I quickly wanted to make a video on Mortal Kombat 1 again. In case you're wondering, hey, this game has been out for some time, so why another video right now? Well, NetherRealm Studios has just unveiled ambitious plans for MK1's future. They have an upcoming Khaos Reigns DLC which is set for release on September 24th. And it promises to be a game changer because this expansion will introduce a new storyline. It will also add 6 additional playable characters and the highly anticipated return of the animality finishing move as seen in the trailers. So I'm just going to be playing some MK1 gameplay video in the background and I'm going to do some commentary on top of it, just expressing my personal opinion as to what I feel about the teaser or trailer and whether you should buy it or not, because it's not a free DLC. It actually comes at a cost. So with that said, let's get right into it. Before I even jump into this new DLC, I actually want to talk about Mortal Kombat 1 overall, because I personally think that the story mode of Mortal Kombat 1 was actually a missed opportunity. Why? Now, the story mode, in my opinion, fell short of expectations. MK1 did boast impressive visuals and also kind of revamped gameplay, but the story didn't really cut it for me, because the narrative, while attempting to establish a fresh timeline, felt overly familiar, relying on tropes seen in previous installments. Even the climax lacked the epic grandeur and emotional impact of earlier titles, leaving players with a sense of anti-climax. Additionally, the abrupt ending and the introduction of a new overarching threat felt rushed and underdeveloped, raising more questions than answers. Even the character development, a cornerstone of the series, also suffered in Mortal Kombat 1. The reimagined versions of iconic characters felt somewhat shallow, lacking the depth and complexity of their previous iterations. The story mode could have benefited from a more focused narrative, allowing for deeper exploration of character arcs and motivations. And ultimately, while Mortal Kombat 1 delivered solid gameplay, the story mode itself failed to capitalize on the potential of a fresh start, leaving fans wanting more. Now, NetherRealm Studios is planning to double down on Mortal Kombat 1 with the upcoming Khaos Reigns expansion. This DLC pack promises to expand the game's story, introduce new fighters, and reintroduce a beloved finishing move like I mentioned at the start of this video, which is animality. You have Havoc, the chaotic and sadistic character who takes center stage this time around as the primary antagonist, setting the stage for a darker, more unpredictable storyline. The return of classic characters like Cyrax, Sektor, and Noob Saibot, along with the inclusion of iconic guest fighters such as Terminator's T-1000 and Ghostface, and even Conan, suggests a wild ride for fans of the franchise. And there is a cost attached to this DLC because it's definitely not free. Unfortunately, this DLC expansion is going to cost $49.99 on the PlayStation 5, on Windows, PC, and even the Xbox Series X. I think the Switch version will be $10 cheaper at around $39.99. And that's the price of the brand new DLC called Khaos Reigns. Because this new DLC focuses on Havoc, I actually want to take some time and talk about Havoc as the main antagonist, and why I think this could be a double-edged sword. While Havoc is undoubtedly a compelling and chaotic character, his role as the primary antagonist in MK1 Khaos Reigns DLC raises some concerns. Lack of clear motivation could be one of it. What do I mean by that? While Havoc's motivations, while fitting his chaotic nature, might feel somewhat abstract and less grounded compared to traditional villains like Shao Kahn or Shang Tsung. His desire for chaos, while intriguing, could potentially lack the depth needed to drive a compelling narrative. His chaotic energy could also potentially overshadow other characters and other storylines, potentially diminishing their impact. So, striking the right balance between Havoc's chaotic nature and a cohesive narrative can be challenging. Too much focus on his character might alienate fans who prefer more traditional villains. But despite these potential challenges, Havoc offers a unique opportunity to explore darker themes and unexpected plot twists. It will be interesting to see how NetherRealm Studios handles this complex character and integrates him into the overall story. Now, only time will tell because the Khaos Reigns DLC is still not out. So, when it does come out in September, I'm really looking forward to trying it out. Why? Because I'm a big fan of Mortal Kombat's ability to tell stories. I think out of all the fighting games that I have played, Street Fighter, Soul Calibur, Tekken, all of these pale in comparison to Mortal Kombat 1 when it comes to the storytelling aspect. Perhaps one of the biggest concerns that fans may have with Mortal Kombat 1's DLC that has been announced is the inclusion of female versions of Cyrax and Sektor in this DLC. Now, why has this sparked discussion about the game's direction? Because fans believe that Mortal Kombat could have gone woke now. Is that the case? Well, I am definitely not going to comment about that in this video, but some players argue that this represents a step towards greater inclusivity and diversity in gaming, while others criticize it as a forced attempt to meet modern trends, potentially compromising the game's core identity. It's important to note that the concept of woke is often used subjectively. In this context, it's essential to separate personal opinions about character representation from the game's overall quality and impact. Now, whether or not the inclusion of female versions of these iconic characters is considered woke is ultimately a matter of individual perspective. Ultimately, the success of these new characters will depend on their execution, both in terms of gameplay and storytelling. If NetherRealm Studios can effectively integrate these characters into the Mortal Kombat universe while maintaining the series' core elements of violence and brutality, they may be able to win over even the most skeptical fans. What are your thoughts on the female versions of Cyrax and Sektor? Do you believe they fit the Mortal Kombat universe? Please let me know in the comments section. Because some fans argue that the new designs deviate too much from the original characters' established aesthetics and personalities. The lack of continuity in terms of appearance and characterization might disrupt the overall lore and world building. There's also an issue of tokenism because there's a perception that the inclusion of female versions of these characters might be driven by a desire to meet diversity quotas rather than a genuine creative vision. This can lead to accusations of forced representation and a lack of authenticity. The changes in character designs could also potentially affect gameplay mechanics such as movesets and fighting styles, and if these alterations are not handled carefully, it could negatively impact the overall balance of the game. So, some fans have expressed that they would have preferred maybe the return of classic female characters rather than gender swapped versions of existing male characters. It's important to note, however, that these are just some of the potential issues raised by the community. Ultimately, the success of these characters will depend on their execution in terms of gameplay, story, and overall fit within the Mortal Kombat universe. Would you like to discuss potential benefits of including female versions of these characters? Please let me know in the comment section. And when I finally download this game, I probably might give my 2 cents about it as well. And I'll let you know what these characters feel like when you get to play them. With that said, that's it for this video, folks. And if you've liked the content, I would greatly appreciate it if you could hit that like and subscribe button and also that bell icon in case you want to get notified with all my latest videos. I do make videos on gameplay and even on items which I unbox and then review, which are related to gaming. So, if you want to get attached to this community of mine, please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. It also helps with the YouTube algorithm, and I thank you in advance for your support and love. But it's a wrap for this one. I will see you lovely folks in my next video. Until that time, I'll say take care, stay safe, and may God bless you all.